audits, we were seeing some really common themes when we were working with partners on existing listings. These were just some simple ones that I pulled out that I thought, if you could just see the difference really quickly, you could update them. This is something that you could go do in 5 minutes and not have to think about it again. So commonly what we see is somebody has set up your marketplace listing, maybe even a technical person, because often marketplace overwhelms marketing and salespeople, and they've just crammed in there whatever logo they could find. They don't really care what the pixel was, as long as it got saved, it's perfect. So you can see off to the far left this logo of GWC. It's blurry, it doesn't look great, it does look like you kind of haphazardly put it up there, and it's not representing your brand well. So what we recommend doing is not just the Contesto logo, not just everything has 50 Contestos, is makes the icon custom to what you're offering, right? What is it that you're actually launching into the marketplace, and how do you draw the attention in the eye? What the middle one is missing, though, is the colors of the brand. So I would take it a step further and try to relate it back to your brand, but like a custom icon is the direction I would go. Now, the second, and we're looking at a card view. So this really is, I've done a search. These are all the things that have come up in that search. And I'm kind of comparing 3 right now that I think I might be interested in. Well, the second one is a really nondescript title on the very left under the GWC, Power Page Workshop. And the one on the very right got truncated because we got too long. So you got to be succinct. You got to include what the product is, or consulting services, but then also give them a little bit more around what the implementation cycle looks like. Maybe on the workshop one, I'd say how long the workshop day was. It half? Is it a 2-hour workshop? Anything you can be a little bit more descriptive about, but be aware it truncates at a certain number of characters. And then finally at the end, get more clear. What we often see in the description is just a repeat of what was said above in the title. And so you got to be, again, aware of truncation, which is happening all the way on the right of our screen, but then, give a bit more information to get that click, get them into what you're trying to explain as a benefit to them. So you can see the one in the middle is enable your entire team to efficiently create robust applications with low code requirements. That's what we want to do. We want to give them more information and draw that reader in to make that click. So I have another best practice once we get in there around offers. And Rick, I'm sure you've seen a lot of these wall of text offers. Like that,
Yes.
That's pretty common. They've taken it from their website and they've thrown it into Marketplace, and I've met that requirement and I'm out. But that, again, is not made for what this marketplace is, and it really leaves the reader without any way to scan and get the information that we want. So here's the point. Nobody reads. We know this, right? We've got now the modern equivalent of less than a goldfish attention span. And so we got to catch their attention as quickly as we can. And if we even just put kind of a journalistic lens on things, journalists always write in F patterns. So you can actually see the F pattern in this listing. And the F pattern is a way to make sure that your most important information is at the top. And as readers in at least kind of Anglo countries, we know we read from left to right, right? So we're going to put it at the top, we're going to put the furthest left. So anything that we want the reader to concentrate on, we're going to make sure that we can make it very scannable. We're going to make sure that we can make the most important and critical points to the client with client-centric pain points, client-centric the way we word things all the way at the top, and then give them exactly what they're going to receive. So we've included a clear roadmap in the middle. Make sure that all the outcomes are clearly defined benefits around what the client cares about. So they don't really care about features and functions. It's what's in it for me. How do I solve this problem? Tell me exactly what you're going to deliver to me to solve this problem. But more than anything, you can just see from wall of text into compelling offer, like make it easy to digest, make it scannable. No one's going to read blocks and blocks of text. So make it very easy and compelling to say, yeah, I want to learn more information. This one is one of my favorites because one, I'm a creator at heart. I have that creative gene. That's why I'm in marketing. It's really different when you're looking at the document, and these are real documents. I mean, we've kind of made them ambiguous so you wouldn't know what partner we took them from, but this is the opportunity they had to fully represent their brand, give a good first impression, and they took a Word document, somewhat complete and they put it into AppSource and said, check, I got that requirement. That really is unengaging and doesn't make me think you're all that committed to what you're offering, or are you going to be, committed to me as a client? So it lacks visual appeal. I actually don't even know who gave that document. And so there's a lot of best practices around just drawing in visual appeal. And AppSource gives you more and more ways to do this. So this example is really keeping everything on brand, making sure you have contact information, incorporating your brand colors, give some visual imagery. But you can also do videos on AppSource. You can do roadmaps on AppSource. You can deliver a lot of information in a little amount of space just by getting visual. This is our top six, I can count, 6 best practices of how you can today go improve your listing just by following these guidelines. So I've given you the guidelines around character count. That's important because actually AppSource will allow you to put in far more characters in this for an attention grabbing title, but that's where it gets truncated. So make sure you pay attention to that and go back and look at your card view after you've put that content in. I know it sounds like a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer, but we often don't do it. We just put it in, it accepted it. Okay, whatever it is great. But if you look at the card view and you can't actually read what you put in there, it gets truncated, then you're not communicating what you wanted to communicate, right? So the compelling summary, add value, add you language. It's all about the client. It's not about your product. Make sure you add that you language. We talked about visual appeal. One thing we didn't talk about is establishing authority. So this is a great way to establish authority with a new audience by adding things like any kind of certifications that are in line with your offer, any kind of customer testimonials that you can show authority and social proof all around those things. You can also make listings very industry focused. So we've taken things like a product that does fit many different industries, but in AppSource, you can target each of those industries differently with the same product with different benefits and outcomes. We were talking about being very client focused and be able to put that also in different regions. So one tip that we've come across too many times, that if you are a multi-regional product consulting services company, the listing will default into the alphabetically highest country that you are listing in. So for example, I'll take a very easy North American one, Canada and the US. If you're listing in Canada and the US, it will default to Canadian dollars, even if you access that from the US, for example. It's something I think will probably be corrected in time, but it might be worth having 2 different listings, just so when somebody's in the US and looking at your product or service, they have the right currency showing up for them. So it doesn't seem like you're so out of touch that, you're only a Canadian company. And then the last build your advantage is, as I mentioned, video is a great way to communicate. Highly recommend putting video in your promotional assets, into your support assets. Maybe a demo product-wise, customer testimonials. That could be a video, that could be a slide, any kind of quick start videos. Very engaging and differentiating. Remember these things, and I've split it up between ISVs and SIs. So ISVs, remember, you can transact. Remember, private offers are your friends. It also makes friends. You can now license with Microsoft through AppSource. And all these things simplify your sales process. So it removes friction. You're not sending them to different sites. You're not sending them to different e-commerce platforms. Remove the friction, sell more through AppSource. SIs, don't forget to co-sell. Get all the way to co-sell. That opens up a new opportunity for you. You also have the opportunity to create private offers and make new friends. So to take advantage of that. Go-to-market benefits, awesome. You get those through co-sell, so get all the way there. And again, it's something that all of these things simplify your sales process. The more you can make it simple to say yes and to buy, the easier it is for your client, and everyone's happy. You're selling more and you're getting more clients. The last 2 I just like to reiterate is focus on the client, not the product, right? You are selling the product, but the client is who you're selling it to. They need to know you understand their problems and their needs. And don't set it and forget it. If you put it up in 2016, it's too old, take it down. You can't still be on AppSource. Highly recommend you go back and review these quarterly. We do these for clients all the time. Quarterly reviews. Is it still relevant? Has Microsoft changed the name of the product? Probably need to update that. If you have anything that says Azure AD, it's old. Update it or take it down.